The boys sat in the far booth, their heads close together over their food. Daniel watched them from across the dining room, his tray untouched. The older one, lean and watchful, kept sneaking glances around the restaurant, as though expecting someone to revoke the miracle. The younger boy was already halfway through his sandwich, cheeks puffed with bread and wonder. Daniel leaned back in the seat. Their conversation floated across the room, low but clear enough to catch in fragments. "You sure you don't want the rest of mine?" the older one asked. "I'm good," the younger mumbled between bites. "You always say that." Daniel looked away. The tile beneath his feet was worn smooth from years of foot traffic. The lights buzzed faintly overhead. The scent of sizzling meat and fryer oil clung to everything. He closed his eyes, and for a moment, he was 10 years old again, sitting in a faded vinyl booth with his mother across from him, counting nickels and praying it was enough. He hadn't thought about that night in years. The memory came back with sharp clarity. His mother had ordered one plate of spaghetti and split it into 2 bowls, pretending she wasn't hungry. She'd smiled, said she'd eaten earlier. He believed her then. He hadn't questioned the lie until he was older and realized the truth, that it was the kindest kind of dishonesty. Back in the present, a waitress stopped at the boys' table to refill their water. The older one stiffened, instinctively guarding the food. The waitress smiled gently and moved on. Daniel felt a slow, rising ache in his chest. Not guilt, though that, too, but something deeper. Recognition. The look in that boy's eyes was the same one he used to see in the mirror, a cautious, practiced gratitude. A survival mode that didn't turn off easily. His phone buzzed in his pocket. He didn't check it. Instead, he stood, grabbed his tray, and made his way toward the kitchen. He passed the boys without looking directly at them, just close enough to hear the younger one whisper, "This is the best meal I've had all year." The older boy replied, quieter still, "Don't get used to it." In the back, the kitchen was a controlled chaos of motion, grill flare-ups, orders shouted over the clatter of plates, steam rising from sinks. He found a spot near the dish pit and started helping, uninvited. No one questioned him. A young server with tired eyes nudged him and smiled. "First day?" "Something like that," he replied. They worked side by side for a while. Between tasks, she spoke about a coworker recently fired for sneaking food home. Said it with a shrug, but her voice dipped, like it wasn't just about company policy. It was about fairness. Mercy. Daniel listened. The deeper he went into this place, into the lives tucked behind the front counter, the clearer it became. Somewhere along the way, he traded heart for efficiency. And maybe tonight was the start of trading it back. He glanced toward the dining room. The boys were gone. But the feeling they left behind remained. The next morning, the riverside hearthstone pulsed with the same morning energy, coffee brewing, griddles hissing, and early regulars settling into booths with newspapers and quiet chatter. But today, something felt different. A slight buzz moved through the staff like static in the air. Whispers. Glances toward the door. Daniel stepped inside, not in disguise, but in a crisp shirt and coat, the years of corporate polish unmistakable. No hoodie, no dye in his hair. The teenage cashier from the night before froze mid-order. A server dropped her pen. The manager, a stocky man with a fraying apron, turned pale and moved toward him with hesitant urgency. "Mr. Grant?" he asked, barely above a whisper. "Is there a problem?" Daniel shook his head. "No problem." He glanced around at the startled staff. "I just came to talk." He spotted the server who'd worked beside him at the dish pit. She gave a stunned smile, half unsure whether to speak. He nodded at her gently. A quiet fell over the restaurant, the kind that happens when something sacred interrupts the ordinary. Daniel stepped toward the center of the room, his voice calm, deliberate. "I was here last night," he said. "Not as your CEO, but as someone who wanted to remember why this place exists. And I saw a lot. I saw effort, kindness, struggle, and a lot of people doing more than they're paid for." The staff watched him, caught between confusion and curiosity. "I also saw 2 boys. Brothers. They reminded me of why I started all this in the first place. To serve, not just food, but people." Community. Dignity. He paused, letting the word settle. He turned to the manager. There are policies we need to revisit. No one should be punished for compassion. No employee should fear hunger more than discipline. That changes today. A tear slipped down the cheek of the young server. She wiped it away quickly. I'm starting a new program, Daniel continued. We're calling it Meal Forward. Customers and staff can pay in advance for meals. Quietly. Discreetly. No one goes hungry on our watch, not if we can help it. In the back, a line cook gave a quiet, stunned nod. Someone clapped once, then stopped, unsure. But then another joined, and another. It swelled slowly, like a wave rediscovering the shore. Daniel looked toward the booth where the boys had sat. Empty now, but imprinted in memory. As he left, he handed the cashier a sealed envelope. If those boys come back, give this to them. No explanations. Just, make sure they know someone saw them. Outside, the morning sun broke through the cloud cover, golden and steady. Daniel didn't look back. He didn't need to. Something had changed, not just in the restaurant, but in him. He walked with a quiet certainty, the kind that only comes when you finally remember what you almost forgot.